Hello and thank you for joining us on AN24 TV News Round. Here are the major headlines. Federal government approves 59.350 billion naira for road aviation projects. Rivers filling stations ordered to reduce petrol price. And Akuffadu elected to second term in Ghana. The news in details after this break. Nigeria's former Minister of Finance, Okonjo-Iweala, has assured Nigeria and other African countries of access to COVID-19 vaccines as from the end of January through the first quarter of 2021. A statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said on Wednesday. The statement quoted Okonjo-Iweala as disclosing this after a closed-door meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyeama, in Abuja. Okonjo-Iweala is currently the African Union Special Envoy on mobilizing international economic support for the continental fight against COVID-19 and Nigeria's candidate for the office of the Director General of the World Trade Organization. She said that the international initiative involved the World Health Organization, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, Gavi, and the international community to get vaccines delivered to developing and poorer countries in an affordable manner and quickly. According to her, the Pfizer vaccine and the AstraZeneca were presently being negotiated so that poor countries would not have to stand in a queue behind the rich countries. The former finance minister described Africans as blessed for not having the same incidence rate of COVID-19 like other continents, but warned nations against complacency. Okonjo-Iweala recalled that a platform called the COVAX facility had been developed with 186 countries on board, saying that the side interested in serving the poor countries had 92 countries, for which resources had been raised to try and get the vaccines quickly to them. The Federal Executive Council has approved roads and aviation contracts worth 59.350 billion naira across the country. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, Federal Capital Territory Minister Mohammed Bello, and Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed made this known Wednesday while speaking to journalists. Fashola said the Ministry of Works and Housing presented one memorandum for the award of contract for the construction of two roads, the Yakasi-Badume-Damagamu-Makinzali Road in Kano, in favor of CCECC for 12.157 billion naira, and the rehabilitation of the Kaduna-Jos Road linking Kaduna and Plateau states in favor of Setraco Nigeria Limited for 38.701 billion naira, and the proposals were approved by the Federal Executive Council. Bello, while speaking, said the Council approved the sum of 431,640,286 naira as revised estimated costs for the contract of the construction of Yaba-Kahe Road in Kwale-Abaji area councils in the FCT to open up rural areas in the territory which are predominantly agricultural areas. The minister said the revision had made the cost of the contract to increase from 914,189,200 naira to 1,349,829,486 naira. He said the contract awarded to Mesa Kohan Limited had the completion period of 12 months. Owners of filling stations in Rivers State have been ordered to reduce fuel pump price by 5 naira from Monday, December 14, 2020. The directive was issued in Port Harcourt on Wednesday by the Rivers State Chairman, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Francis Dinkwa. Dinkwa, while addressing journalists, urged petroleum dealers in the state to comply with the directive in tandem with the agreements reached between the organized labor and the federal government. The federal government, following a closed-door meeting with the organized labor, agreed to slash the pump price of premium motor spirits, also known as petrol, from 168 naira to 162.44 naira per litre to take effect from Monday, December 14, 2020. The state petrol chairman, however, demanded that the ex-depot price of petroleum products be reduced to align with the federal government's and organized labor agreements. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly on Wednesday approved the budget of 456 6.251 billion naira for 2021. The budget is made up of 164.5 billion naira for recurrent expenditure, 241.4 billion naira for capital expenditure, and 50.2 billion naira for consolidated revenue fund charges. The passage of the budget formed part of the proceedings as House resumed plenary Tuesday after a 2-month recess. After due legislative scrutiny in the Committee of Supply chaired by the Speaker, Ania Kombasi, the House passed the 2021 budget into law and urged the Clerk of the House, Mrs. Mandu Umuren, to communicate the same to Governor Emmanuel Udom for her sense. And finally on the news, Ghana's President Nana Akuffadu has been given a fresh mandate to govern the country for the next 4 years. The country's Electoral Commission on Wednesday declared them winner of Monday's presidential election. The incumbents who contested the election on the platform of the New Patriotic Party won with 6,730,413 votes, which represented 51.59% of the valid votes cast. His closest opponent, John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress, polled 6,214,889 votes, which was 47.36% of the total votes cast. But Akuffadu has urged MPP supporters to be moderate and sensitive in jubilation. The total votes cast was 13,443,574, representing 79% of the total registered voters. EC chairperson Mrs. Jane Mensah, who declared the result on Wednesday evening, about 48 hours after the polls closed, described the election as incident-free and peaceful. She also said the technology deployed on election day worked efficiently and effectively, insisting that the usual hustle and long queues at polling stations and past elections were all absent. And with that, we've come to the end of the news on AN24 TV. Thank you for watching.